Market update on the 12th. So yesterday I was playing around with this chart and I took off the log scale, and it's very interesting that when I take the log scale off, we already broke outside of this parallel line. So I think that this is the third wave getting close to the end. We've already passed 357, so I got rid of the WXY. So the only way that I can see this being bearish from here is if it's an extended C wave. It would have to be a very extended C wave, which is possible. But if it's not that, then that means we're in a third wave, a gigantic third wave. Like, this is first wave, second wave. We're still in the third wave of the third wave, which is usually the longest wave. We did get a shallow second wave here, but then we got this count right here. So I can go through it real quick. So we have 1, 2, and you can see I have the third wave. We broke outside of this parallel line right here. So the count is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this part could go two different ways. It really depends on if this is the fourth wave right here. I think it could either be the first wave right here. So you can see a 5-wave move. I think this is probably some kind of ABC move right here. So basically like that. And so if that's the case, that means we're in the third wave of the overall fifth wave. These are obviously minor waves, and my target for that would be, we'd come up here to probably 361.66, come down and go a little bit higher. It's either that, or the other possibility is that this is a B wave, because it kind of looks like a B wave to me. This did come back to the 50% retracement, but this is not really a very impulsive move. So if that's the case, then this would be A, B, C right here. And we'd be looking at something down in here, to 340 maybe. Is that right? Yeah. So basically, this whole thing would end up being A, B, and then we get a C wave down here to 340. So we're either in the fifth wave. The reason I say this is possible is because this fourth wave would have been really short. The third possibility is, so that would take us down to 340. The third possibility is that it's A, B, C like this, and then this is the first wave of the fifth wave. I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on this. When you get on smaller time frames, it's kind of hard to say, but after hours we're up a little bit, up even more. And the reason I say that the fall down to 340 is possible is everyone is really bullish right now for a good reason. But again, this second wave, I guess second wave right here, took about 26 days. So the fourth wave would have only taken 1 day. So I find that highly unlikely that a fourth wave only took that long. So for that reason, I guess I would lean towards this either being ending right here on June 7th, or we are in some kind of expanded flat, which with the Fed talking on Wednesday, we're going to come down here to 340. If I draw a parallel line from first to the third, you can see that we have not came anywhere close, even to the midpoint, really. I mean, this came somewhat close, but not really. And so if we fell down here to 340, that would actually break outside the parallel line, and it would only retrace to like a little bit short of the 0.38 fib, a normal fourth wave. So far, we've only retraced halfway to the 0.23 fib. So for those reasons, I would have to lean towards it coming down here, but I'm not going to say that it's not going to keep on melting up, because that would be stupid. In this market, it just keeps on going higher. So those are the two possibilities. Either we have an expanded flat to 340, or we keep on going higher. If you look at the length of this first wave right here, this was 285 to 321. That's $36. So second wave to the end of the third wave was $44. So if this is the bottom right here, we could be looking at something close to 400 for this to be over with. That's another reason why I think a fall makes sense, because if we come down here to 340, then it makes more sense for this to go up $36 or $44. We'd only be at 376 or 383. That's pretty much what I got on that. Let me look at one more thing. If you look at the first and second wave here, though, as well, you can see that the overall third wave could have completed right here, too. So it's possible we get a short third wave and the third wave is complete. We would be looking for a bigger fall if the overall third wave was complete. So we come all the way down here to the gap fill at 332. So there's a lot of things that could happen from here, and and also, I mean, there's so many different possibilities. This could also be the end of the third wave as well. We are outside the parallel line, but we did melt up a little bit higher here. But again, that could also be something like this, and then we could go and then come down here to 332. So we'll have to watch it and just see how it goes from here. Tomorrow should be pretty telling. And then we have Wednesday with the Fed. That will probably be the most telling. Right now, it's kind of a guess which way this goes. Up 1.7% with the VIX up higher today was kind of sketchy as well. But it is a valid overall third wave now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be ending right. Could have ended right here. So I'll leave it at that for QQQ. Well, actually, one more thing. If we go back to 332, and let's say this was a top here, we're looking at something between 380 and 390 for the top of this overall third wave. So that would be the third wave of this. We'd pull back and go even higher. If we zoom out here on the weekly, I was looking at something. What if this is an expanded flat? The 1.61 fib is at 385, and that hits a pretty good supply zone. So I think we're getting closer, but we probably still have another 2 or 3 months for this stuff to go on, which is good if you're long the whole way. It's been pretty tough for some people because you want to. The instinct is to buy puts, but you have to buy calls or sell puts and just go with the trend. It's been pretty tough though. So SPY can tell us a lot as well. I still think that SPY is in a, let's see here, I think it's ABC. So this looks like ABC to me. I'm looking for the top of this parallel line. I was just checking to see. I think this is going to hit about 440. That is the 1.61 fib of the A wave. That also could be, even though I don't like to say it, it could also be a 5-wave move. That would look like basically, it would look like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in a 5th wave right here, and the 5th wave would look like 1, 2, 3, pull back 4, 5th wave higher. The 1.61 fib of the W wave is at 448. So we're headed probably to 448. So that gives us another 3.5%. Let's just see what 3.5% is on QQQ. So that takes QQQ up to 373. So we'll see what happens, but QQQ is getting close to ending this 3rd wave, in my opinion. We'll see where it ends, though. Meta. So again, I took the log off a lot of these to see what they're like, because the log is good if you break outside of parallel lines using the arithmetic, but if you don't need to use a log on shorter time frames, sometimes it will give you higher targets than you're expecting. And what's interesting here is on Meta, I didn't realize this. No, that's not what I was looking at. On Meta, was it this? Yeah, so Meta, we hit basically the top if you take the parallel line from W, from A to W, and then from X to the top. We already hit that top right there. So what does that mean? That means it most likely completed this move. I'm looking for some pullback on Meta still. Again, we got this pretty nice impulsive move here, and then immediately just comes right back and goes higher. But this should be a B wave. If we zoom in here a little bit farther, let's just look at this. Really hoping there's a correction after the Fed. I think this market's kind of exhausting, but yeah, I think that this could potentially go up to maybe 273. That's kind of my target. But again, I'm looking for a pullback here, and I think that looking at all these charts, I still think that a pullback on QQQ makes the most sense. But it hasn't worked so far, so we'll see if it works this time. Tesla, same thing. I think the 3rd wave's done. Still looking for this pullback. And if you notice, it's like honestly the exact same chart as QQQ. We finished a overall 3rd wave, where we should be in a 4th wave. So if this pulls back to like 220, 230, this would be in a 4th wave, or it could be in a 4th wave of the overall 3rd wave. Confusing myself with all these different minor subwaves, but I would look for a pullback on Tesla. If it does end up going higher, again, you're looking at the gap fill at 262. The VIX, not going to go over that. The dollar, not going to go over that. What else do we have here? Apple. So Apple is either going to be in a, if it follows everything else, it's probably in a fourth wave. So even though it didn't get outside the parallel lines, it's gone past the 1.61 fib by a mile. Or not by a mile, but pretty good amount. So that means it's most likely pulling back for a fourth wave. Parallel lines probably aren't going to work that well with this one, but try it out. I would imagine if we get a pullback, this could come down here to $175, potentially 170, and then I would probably go long it again. If we get a corrective move, I'd probably long it, and then I'd be looking for somewhere around 200, 210, something like that. So, yeah, let's go over Amazon and Google. Microsoft, I'm not going to really look at that one. So Amazon, again, same setup as all the other ones. Could go higher here. There's a gap fill at 133. Or we could sell off first lower and then go higher. So kind of remains to be seen. And then Google. So on the log chart, this hit exactly the 1.61 fib, pretty much. And so I think it should be done. But it could be making a fourth wave down here and then go higher as well. It's probably going to go higher, to be honest. And honestly, this could end up being 1, 2. And then this could end up being a first wave and a second wave. And then this could end up being the third wave right here, which we already broke outside the 1.61 fib, in which I would be looking for somewhere up in this area, probably like this resistance area, maybe 130 to 135. And then that would just be the completion of the overall third wave. Pull back, go higher for the third wave. So, yeah, there's a chance that this could continue to go up and go above 400 and maybe even go above all-time highs at this point. So that's not too out of the realm of possibility. We'll see what happens with the Fed meeting on Wednesday. If we get another big move tomorrow or something else, I'll probably do an update either way. But if it's a boring day, I might not do an update because not much would change. So that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that. Look for a fourth wave on QQQ, or look for just continuing to go higher. Target's probably going to be somewhere at least 370, I would imagine. That's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and have a good night.